Hi Rebels, we have a very interesting show today. I'm Mia Nakamura.
And I'm Sydney Lum. Thank you for joining us. Today in our show, we will be looking at a few fun and interesting events that took place recently.
That's right. Along with that, we have a live interview with Michael Easter. He's a new book author out surrounding social media that we'll learn more about.
We will also be covering current events and the latest on the Vegas Golden Knights. We have that and more starting right now.
Before we get into showcasing the latest events that happened here, we will take another look at the volcano that erupted in Spain.
This volcano situation has progressively gotten worse. An island breakaway is something that possibly can occur. But as of right now, we aren't sure about the possibility of this event.
Many officials say the volcano is getting more aggressive and that it can worsen at any time.
Moving on to the case that is haunting the nation, police suspect Gabby Petito's boyfriend Brian Laundrie as a potential culprit of her homicide. The video we are showing is of body cam footage prior to her disappearance where police arrived because of a fight between Gabby and Brian. This footage shows that the many times police were called during the relationship, and many think this is evidence for Brian's involvement in this ongoing case.
The Afghanistan ambassador to Italy refuses to acknowledge the Taliban as a legitimate government. Since the Taliban take over Afghanistan, many casualties have occurred.
The situation in Afghanistan is unfortunate, and we will keep you updated on we'll be right back after this.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
UEmergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. UEmergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. UEmergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your UEmergency app now.
The 29th Pacific Islander Festival happened recently in Old Town Henderson. The event was free, giving spectators the opportunity to enjoy the sights, sounds, and taste of the islands. Reporter Jose Ruiz has more.
Today I talked with some people at the 29th Pacific Islander Festival. Here's the story for more.
Aloha, I'm Kumu Kahiki Akana. K-A-H-I-K-I, Akana, A-K-A-N-A. We are sharing our culture, straight from Hawaii. So we're sharing first with our Ohe Kapalari printing, and then we'll be performing our traditional dances. So if you take a look at the prints that we have, we use a lot of prints that represent elements, different elements. A lot of times when we do printing, the printing can pertain to family, genealogy, or it can pertain to, like I said, different elements or what is representative of you as an individual. We have a location where I teach hula on the northwest side of Las Vegas. Cross streets are Torrey and Gowan. I have probably a total of, I would want to say maybe about 18 students right now. Yep. So you don't have to be Hawaiian to learn hula. Yeah, we welcome all. But you know, like with hula, like anything that's traditional, I always say, you know, hula is one dance that will find you, and it's either you're gonna want it, and when you want it, it'll show because it's a lot of dedication. I took hula at the age of 3. I think I learned how to dance before I could walk. So I loved music. I would hear Hawaiian music and I would just dance.
This has been Jose Ruiz with Studio G. Back to you.
You know, Jose just looked like he had so much fun at the festival, and I can't wait to attend the 30th Pacific Islander Festival.
Yeah, weren't you actually there at the event?
Yeah, I was. So actually the work I do for a nonprofit, we actually had a table set up and we were registering people to vote. So that was a pretty cool event overall.
Nice. Next time you go, shoot me a text.
I will.
All right. Well, our reporter Evelyn Hernandez went to an interesting event where anime and cosplay fans got together.
SAC Anime was an opportunity for the anime community to get together and have a good time. There were a variety of activities and panels where people could get autographs and interact with voice actors and other cosplayers.
Yesterday, outside, like a whole flash mob dance circle broke out. We were playing the Cupid Shuffle, and it was probably the best thing that has ever happened to me, ever.
People are buzzing to attend anime conventions, and vendors are excited to get back and sell their merchandise. For many, it was hard to keep their businesses going during the pandemic. Holly Gunther, owner of Kimchi Kawaii, shares how they kept their shop open.
So I've been in business for 14 years, and I do have an online shop, and I was able, Facebook had a group that was called Virtual Artist Alley. They were really good at getting that up really fast. And it brings together the buyers and the sellers. And so buyers can be like, hey, I'm looking for XYZ. And the sellers can be like, I've got that. Here's my website. And it really helps connect everybody. I think that Virtual Artist Alley group was really what helped keep my online sales up.
Cosplayers explained that they felt safe attending and that the COVID regulations were strictly followed.
I've seen a lot of hand sanitizing situations, and I've seen a lot of the security going up to people being like, hey, you can't wear your mask, you have to wear your mask here, or you can not wear your mask here,
Although vendors have been going to cons for years, for many attendees it was their first time to ever experience an anime convention. For anyone that is interested, there will be anime and comic conventions in Las Vegas this year, like Unicon and Sin City Anime. This has been Evelyn Hernandez with Studio G.
That was great, Evelyn. Well, now I'm going to pass it to Mia for weather.
Thank you, Sydney. As you can see from the map, the South region is a bit hotter than usual. And from Las Vegas, it's still a bit hot, but as you can see, it's blue. That indicates it's about in the 80-degree weather, the 80-degree weather forecast. We're going to get some cool temperatures pretty soon. And you can see that in Nevada, Las Vegas is still up there. It's pretty high compared to the rest of Nevada, but hopefully we'll get that weather. We'll get that weather from Reno and Ely and Ely, Nevada. It's about 60 degrees, 70 degrees, and right now we're still about at 84. So hopefully we'll get that cooler weather soon for the holiday weather. Well, that's all for weather. Thank you so much. Back to you, Sydney.
Thank you, Mia, for that weather forecast. Before we go to our live on-set interview with Michael Easter, we're going to take a short break. That's fine. Welcome back. I'm here with author of The Comfort Crisis and contributing editor for Men's Health magazine, Michael Easter. Hi, how's it going? We're so glad to have you on set with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
So, can you start off by just summarizing what your book, The Comfort Crisis, is all about?
Yeah, so the very short of it is that it is about how, as the world has gotten a lot more comfortable in a variety of ways. So think about how you no longer have to go hunt and gather your food. We live at 72 degrees. You probably don't have to walk to work every day, right? You drive a car, all these different things, how that has affected our health and happiness in a lot of ways. And I tell that story over a month-long backcountry hunt that I did in the Arctic.
So what made you decide to go to the Arctic to do that?
So I think that hunting in particular, especially when you're out for a long time, it's kind of how humans used to live, for all of time, 2.5 million years, right? We've only started living these hyper-modern lives in the last 100 years or so. So by kind of going outdoors and spending so much time outdoors and having to like hunt for my food and do all these things that humans used to have to do all the time, I could kind of see how we used to live in the past and then how the modern times have changed us.
Nice. So what was like the idea in your head that like sparked you to be like, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm going to write about it and like go on this adventure?
Yeah, so I worked at, I was on staff at Men's Health magazine for a lot of years, and I'm still what's called a contributing editor for them, which is basically just like an agreement that I write a lot of their feature stories. And in that job, you know, I'd have to write about fitness, I'd have to write about nutrition, I'd have to write about mental health, all these different health topics. And the one thing that all those topics have in common is that if you want to positively change your life, you often have to go through some form of discomfort. So think about if you want to improve your fitness, you have to go to the gym. Well, working out is hard, right? If you, let's say you decided that you wanted to lose weight, you're probably going to be hungry because you're probably going to have to eat less, right? And even improving your mental health, you often have to take a hard look at some of your behaviors, which is uncomfortable. So I kind of had that sense that, oh, to improve yourself, you have to go through discomfort. And that led me sort of down a rabbit hole of then noticing that, oh, we've made the world comfortable in so many different ways, and I wonder how that's changed us.
Nice. All right, so I know besides you being an author and an editor, you also are a professor here at UNLV. I actually had you like 3 years ago in a class.
Yeah.
So how do you balance everything that you are doing and accomplishing?
I just work all the time. No, I do work a lot. I probably work too much, but I enjoy the work a lot, so it doesn't necessarily feel like work. I'm usually up really early. I have a big dog that wakes me up at like 4, and I just start writing until maybe 8, and then I'll start doing UNLV stuff after that. So. Nice.
And so is there any idea in the work for another book that we could expect from you?
Yeah, I am starting another book soon. It'll kind of be a follow-up to the one I did now. I can't talk too much about it, but I've been doing some traveling over the summer for it. I was down in South America for a while, and yeah, it's exciting.
All right, so we'll go away from that since you can't get too much into it. But where can people watching this find your book to purchase?
Yeah, anywhere the books are sold. So it's on Amazon. One thing that's interesting, especially as a professor of media here, is that the book is actually sold more in audio than it has physical print copies, which I think is kind of suggestive of where media is going, where people are more likely to consume media while they're doing something else. So that's kind of been interesting. For sure.
Nice. So there is an audio version as well as...
Yeah, there is. There's audio, there's ebook, there's physical book, etc.
All right. Thank you. And then also, we know that you were recently on Joe Rogan.
Mm-hmm.
So how was that? I did watch it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it was really fun. He's a super nice guy. He has an unbelievable memory of just random facts. I think that's part of why he's so successful is that he's able to talk to people and just have a normal conversation, but then he can just pull a random semi-related fact that is somewhere buried in his brain out of nowhere to keep the conversation going and to keep it sort of moving in different directions you wouldn't expect. So yeah, he's a really good dude. I liked him.
Gotcha. How did he reach out to you to get you on the show? Because I know you're super busy, as you've mentioned.
Well, he's definitely more busy than me. But what happened is that we had a friend in common, and then my publisher knew the person who books all his shows and just said, so my friend had been like, hey, you should have this dude on your show, and my publisher reached out, and I think those two things kind of combined. And yeah, they invited me down, and they only do in person, which is interesting because I've done a lot of podcasts, but only a couple of them have been in person. So I had to fly down to Austin. That's where he used to be in California, but now he's in Texas. So yeah, it was good to do an in-person interview, just like this one. It's good to be in person.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming in and talking about your book and everything else that came along with it.
Of course.
So now I'm gonna pass it back to our reporter Anna Sai, who has more.
Ranger Challenge is an exclusive ROTC varsity sport that consists of teams who compete against other universities across the country.
So it was based off myself and my other captains in creating a tryout, and from there we did selections based off of physical fitness and how well they worked with others. I would say Ranger Challenge is more so for in terms of competition because, you know, there's this saying that competition breeds excellence. So through these cadets competing against each other, it builds this sense of becoming better. We definitely have a good shot at possibly winning. We just have to be able to put in the work and be consistent and be willing to show up and give it our all.
This is Anna Saya reporting for Studio G.
That was reporter Anna Saya with the important story on what ROTC is and what comes along with being in it. Moving on to sports.
Vegas Golden Knights won 7-4 last night against the Colorado Avalanche at Ball Arena. Their next game is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. against the Arizona Coyotes at T-Mobile Arena.
The Las Vegas Aces played their fourth playoff game tonight at 7 p.m. against the Phoenix Mercury. The Aces are going into this game down 2-1.
The UNLV football team plays their next game against Utah State on October 16th here at Allegiant Stadium. They have yet to win a game this season, so get your tickets and let's cheer on our Rebels.
You know, I really hope that UNLV can come through because I want to be proud of our team.
Same here, same here. And then I really hope Las Vegas Aces can come through too because they started the semifinals off so strong and then they kind of dropped back. So hopefully they could regain their, confidence.
You know, at least the Golden Knights are doing pretty good.
Yes.
So I'm proud of them.
I love the Golden Knights. I'm a Golden Knights girl for sure.
Me too.
All right. Another reason I love going to sporting events is for the food. I know of a famous family-owned restaurant that is about 5 minutes driving distance from UNLV's campus. Bob's Eastside Deli welcomes everyone to come in and eat some good homemade food in an environment that feels like home, especially since it's full of Bob's family who works there.
They all worked in our stores between New York and here. I don't think I could run the store without them. And I'm very fortunate. I've had a really good run of good help, and they've been with me for years.
With Bob being able to run such a successful business for many years, one may wonder, what drove his passion to own and run a deli?
I always wanted to feed people. I always wanted to make them happy. Actually, it goes back to when I was about 6, 7 years old. I had an uncle that had a luncheonette business in Brooklyn.
Food and creating dishes has been a passion for Bob for his whole life.
I like meatballs. I make meatballs. We make sausage and peppers at home. A lot of the stuff that's on the menu is all stuff that we make at home.
Bob and his family plus the other workers make sure customers have a great experience every time they walk through the door.
Our service, I think, is very good. We get our food out quickly, and we've been lucky. People liked it, and they keep coming back.
A portion of their customers come from students from Del Sol High School, which is located right across the street.
We try to take care of the kids as much as we can. I know over at the high school, I donate to almost every organization that's there.
This local deli is about a 5-minute drive from campus, and if you ask me, it sure is delicious.
You know, that place looked great, and I'm glad you interviewed the owner, and he just seems so cool and down to earth.
Yeah, it's an amazing place. I've been going there for a long time now, and it's homemade food.
Wow.
Very quality.
You know, I'm going to have to check it out, Cindy. And what did you think about just the interview and the overall show?
Oh, it was amazing. It was so awesome that we were able to get Michael Easter on our show with all his accomplishments.
Especially since he was on Joe Rogan, now he's on here. Like, oh, maybe we'll be the next famous podcast.
Maybe we're moving up in the world, right?
We enjoyed you watching today's show.
So be sure to stay tuned for tomorrow, as we will have a special segment for voter registration, as well as a live interview with the Director of Outreach with
One APIA Nevada.